Have you ever woken up and felt like your body forgot how to move overnight? Your arms feel heavy. Your legs hesitate, like they're second-guessing every step. Even standing up takes more energy than it should. You tell yourself, it's just age. But what if it's not? What if something else, something silent, is stealing your strength? Night after night, meal after meal, bite after bite. Because after 60, your body doesn't respond the way it used to. Digestion slows, muscle repair weakens, and certain foods, even the ones you thought were healthy, might actually be pushing your muscles closer to breakdown. Especially the ones you eat before bed. Here's what no one tells you. Not all fruits are safe for seniors. Yes, fruits. Those colorful, natural, innocent-looking snacks. Some of them can quietly disrupt your sleep, your sugar levels, your medications, and your muscle health. But there's good news too. Nature also gives us powerful, healing fruits, the kind that can protect your muscles, your bones, and even your memory while you sleep. My name is Martha. I've lived through the ups and downs of aging. I studied these changes. And today, I want to share the fruits that are silently harming seniors like you. And the ones that can help you heal, gently, naturally, and powerfully. So stay with me. And if you care about your health after 60, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for weekly health tips made just for you. And let me know you're here with me right now. Type 1 in the comments if you're already enjoying this, or 0 if not. I'm listening. Now, let's start with the fruits that may be silently draining your strength. The 4 dangerous fruits seniors should never eat. 1. Grapefruit, the silent killer for medication users. It looks harmless. Soft pink, juicy, refreshing. A fruit that practically screams healthy choice. You've seen it on breakfast plates, in heart health diets, even in weight loss plans. So how could something so innocent be so dangerous? Here's the truth most seniors never hear. Grapefruit doesn't mix well with your medications. In fact, it can turn life-saving medicine into something toxic, silently, invisibly, and without warning. How? Grapefruit contains a group of natural chemicals called furanocoumarins. These block a critical liver enzyme known as CYP3A4, an enzyme your body relies on to break down and remove medications from your system. And without it, those medications, especially statins for cholesterol, calcium channel blockers for blood pressure, blood thinners, and anti-anxiety drugs, start building up inside your bloodstream, minute by minute, hour by hour. At first, you feel nothing. Then suddenly, your heart skips, your muscles ache, your blood pressure drops too low, you feel dizzy, confused, unsteady. In extreme cases, it can cause rhabdomyolysis, a breakdown of muscle that floods your kidneys and threatens your life. It can even trigger internal bleeding or a fatal overdose effect of medications you've taken safely for years. All from half a grapefruit. And the scariest part. Most seniors don't know. Not your pharmacist. Not even all doctors mention it. Over 85 medications, yes, 85, are known to interact dangerously with grapefruit. This doesn't make grapefruit evil. It just means your body after 60 isn't the same as it was at 30. It's more sensitive, more vulnerable, more reactive. So the next time someone says, it's just a fruit, remember, it's not just what you eat, it's what your body does with it. And when your liver can't keep up, even a healthy bite can turn deadly. So is it really worth the risk? Let's look at another fruit, sweet, innocent looking. But for seniors, equally deceptive. Let's talk about cherries. 2. Cherries, sweet but dangerous for arthritis and diabetes. There's something nostalgic about cherries. You remember them, don't you? The sweetness of summer. That deep red color staining your fingertips. Cherry pies cooling on the windowsill. Picnics in the sun. Smiles without worry. But after 60, that sweet little fruit might not be as innocent as it once seemed. Because cherries, as lovely as they taste, carry a dark side for aging bodies. Let's start with the obvious: natural sugar. Cherries are loaded with it, especially in the forms most seniors consume. Cherry juice, canned cherries, cherry syrup on desserts, even dried cherries in so-called healthy trail mixes. And here's what your body does after 60. It processes sugar slower. Your insulin response, weaker. Your cells, more resistant. If you're living with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or even just trying to manage your weight, these tiny fruits can cause your blood sugar to spike rapidly and crash just as hard. But it's not just about sugar. There's another hidden layer. Cherries are also acidic, which means they can worsen joint inflammation and trigger arthritis flare-ups in many seniors. You may not notice it immediately, but over time, that quiet aching in your knees, that stiffness in your hands, that pain when you stand from the couch, it may be whispering something important. Your body is inflamed, and the fuel might be something you once thought was harmless. You see, at this age, inflammation doesn't always come from what's obvious. Sometimes it comes from memories, from comfort foods, from what you used to love, but can no longer afford to eat the same way. And what's worse, cherries can disrupt sleep by spiking blood sugar before bed and causing nighttime inflammation, meaning you wake up more tired, more sore, and more frustrated than before. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy cherries again. It means be mindful. Know your body. Know your condition. And choose wisely. Because sometimes the sweetest things leave the most bitterness behind. Now, let's move to something even more surprising. The fruit that's often praised for preventing cramps and boosting energy, but in the aging body may become a silent disruptor. Let's talk about bananas. 3. Bananas. Too much potassium can be harmful. It's the poster child of healthy eating. Bright yellow, soft, easy to chew. Every doctor, every trainer, every diet chart says the same thing. Bananas are good for you. And for most people, they are. But what if I told you, after 60, that same banana might be slowly working against you? It's true. Bananas are rich in potassium, a mineral essential for muscle function, nerve signaling, and heart health. But here's the problem. After 60, your kidneys begin to slow down. They don't flush excess minerals as efficiently. And if you're taking common medications like ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics for blood pressure or heart disease, your potassium levels can rise dangerously fast. The condition is called hyperkalemia. It builds up quietly. No pain, no warning. And suddenly, your heart starts beating irregularly. Your legs feel heavy. Your mind feels foggy. You feel off, but can't explain why. It may feel like aging. But really, it's your body overwhelmed with potassium. Even something as innocent as one banana a day, eaten every evening as a bedtime snack, can tip the balance. And once it does, symptoms begin subtly. Muscle weakness, tingling in the limbs, irregular heartbeat, difficulty standing without wobbling, extreme fatigue. In severe cases, it can trigger cardiac arrest. Yes, it's rare. But when it happens, it's sudden and unforgiving. The worst part: most seniors never link it to the banana. They assume it's just age, or a bad night's sleep. But the truth is, it's the body sending a message. This doesn't mean you must fear bananas. But it does mean you must understand your own health. If you have kidney disease, heart conditions, or take certain meds, talk to your doctor. And maybe choose a lower potassium fruit instead. Because when your heart and kidneys are under stress, even a little extra potassium can tip the scale from safe to serious. Now, let's expose the fruit that hides in every healthy snack bar, every trail mix, disguised as natural, but delivering a concentrated sugar trap. Let's talk about dried fruits. 4. Dried fruits, the hidden sugar bomb. They sit quietly on your kitchen shelf. Small, shriveled, sweet. Tucked into trail mixes, sprinkled over salads, added into your so-called healthy breakfast cereal. Dried fruits, they look innocent. They feel natural. And they carry that deceptive label, health food. But what if I told you that behind their chewy texture and concentrated flavor hides a metabolic trap? One that quietly inflames your joints, spikes your blood sugar, and stresses your digestion, especially after 60. Here's what they don't tell you. When a fruit is dried, the water is removed. But the sugar doesn't go anywhere. In fact, it becomes more concentrated. That handful of raisins. It's like eating an entire bowl of grapes, but without the fiber, without the water, and without the natural fullness that tells your body to stop. So what happens? You eat more sugar, more calories, more fructose, the type of sugar that goes straight to your liver, raises triglycerides, and fuels inflammation in your joints and blood vessels. And it gets worse. Many commercial dried fruits are coated in extra sugar to enhance flavor, or treated with preservatives like sulfites, which can trigger headaches, gut irritation, asthma attacks, and even allergic reactions in sensitive seniors. You may think it's just a small snack before bed, but for an aging digestive system, that dried fruit can become a night-long burden. The sugar spike may interrupt your sleep. The acidity may stir up arthritis. And the bloating, that's your gut crying out for relief. All from what looked like a health-conscious choice. And here's the kicker. You wouldn't dare drink a glass of soda before bed, right? But that tiny portion of dried fruit, it might be just as sugary. So ask yourself, is that handful of dried mango really worth the joint pain, the fatigue, the restless night? There's nothing wrong with fruit. But dried fruit, for many seniors, it's a disguised dessert in disguise, packaged as healthy, but delivering harm. Now that we've unmasked the 4 most deceptively dangerous fruits, it's time to flip the story. Let's talk about the fruits that can actually restore your strength, heal your body, and protect your muscles while you sleep. Let's begin with blueberries. The 4 must-eat fruits that can save your health after 61. Blueberries, a brain protector. They're small, almost forgettable, tucked away in the corner of your fridge, often overshadowed by bigger, flashier fruits. But make no mistake, these tiny blue orbs may be the most powerful weapon against aging, especially when it comes to your brain. Blueberries contain a secret ingredient nature rarely gives out so generously. Anthocyanins, the deep blue pigments that do more than just look pretty. Here's what makes them special. Unlike most antioxidants, anthocyanins can cross the blood-brain barrier. That means they don't just float around in your body. They enter your brain, clean up the damage, and restore broken communication between brain cells. And the result? You remember names more easily. You focus longer. You speak more clearly. And that scary fog, the one that makes you forget why you walked into a room, starts to lift. But that's just the beginning. Studies show that seniors who consume blueberries regularly experience sharper short-term memory, improved decision-making, enhanced motor coordination, and even a reduced risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. How? Because blueberries reduce inflammation, the silent villain behind nearly every chronic disease, including those that attack your brain. They also protect your brain from oxidative stress, the wear and tear caused by years of exposure to toxins, processed food, and even emotional stress. And they're not just brain food. Blueberries also help regulate blood sugar, lower blood pressure, and support heart health, all of which are deeply connected to your cognitive function. And unlike many fruits, they're low in sugar, high in fiber, and gentle on digestion, making them perfect before bed. A small handful, about half a cup, is all you need. You can stir them into yogurt, oatmeal, or just enjoy them plain, as a quiet, healing ritual before sleep. They don't shout. They don't overwhelm. But they work, quietly, powerfully, and consistently. And when you wake up after a blueberry-filled evening, you might just feel a little sharper, a little lighter, a little more like yourself. Now, let's move from brain health to something just as vital, your heart. And for that, we turn to one of the most trusted, most traditional fruits of all time, the apple. 2. Apples, the heart-healthy fiber hero. You've heard it 1,000 times. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what if that old saying isn't just a rhyme? What if it's a quiet truth, one that modern science is finally catching up to? Because in the world of fruits, apples don't beg for attention. They don't have the tropical flair of papayas or the trendiness of avocados. They're simple, ordinary, familiar. But inside that crisp bite lies a powerful protector, especially for your heart. Apples are packed with soluble fiber, and more specifically, a type called pectin. Pectin binds to LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, and helps your body remove it before it can clog your arteries. And here's where it gets important for seniors. As we age, our blood vessels become less flexible. Plaque builds up faster. And heart disease becomes one of the leading causes of death after 60. But apples, they work quietly in the background, lowering cholesterol, balancing blood sugar, and easing the daily strain on your cardiovascular system. And that's not all. Apples are naturally low in sugar, especially compared to most snacks. They provide gentle energy without the crash. They help manage weight by making you feel full longer. And if you struggle with constipation, which many seniors do, the insoluble fiber in the peel helps keep things moving smoothly. But perhaps the most underrated power of apples lies in their antioxidants. Compounds like quercetin and flavonoids, which fight inflammation, reduce damage to your blood vessels, and may even slow the progression of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and certain cancers. And let's not forget something just as important. Apples feel safe, comforting, like something your body already trusts. No confusion, no side effects, just nourishment, straight from the earth. One apple, eaten slowly, before bed, can calm your hunger, balance your sugar, and protect the very heart that's kept you alive all these years. So next time you reach for a snack, skip the chips. Reach for wisdom. Reach for an apple. Now, let's turn to a fruit that isn't sweet at all, but offers something just as precious. Healing fats for your brain, joints, and heart. Let's talk about avocados. 3. Avocados, the healthy fat that nourishes your body. Not all fruits come wrapped in sugar. Some, like the avocado, are quiet, creamy, understated, and yet they offer something far more powerful than sweetness. Because inside that soft green flesh is a type of nourishment that aging bodies are desperately craving. Let's start with the fats. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, the kind that lower bad cholesterol and raise the good kind. These fats support healthy circulation. They protect your arteries from stiffening, and they provide a steady stream of energy without spiking your blood sugar. For seniors, that means a lot. It means fewer energy crashes, more balanced moods, sharper thinking, and a heart that beats with more stability and less strain. But that's just the beginning. Avocados are loaded with vitamin K, an essential nutrient that helps your body retain calcium in the bones, preventing fractures and strengthening your frame. Especially important after 60, when bones become more brittle and the risk of falls increases. They also contain folate, which supports brain function and memory. Lutein, a potent antioxidant that shields your eyes from macular degeneration, a leading cause of vision loss in seniors. And a unique form of potassium that helps regulate blood pressure, but in a gentler, more balanced way than potassium from bananas. And then, there's the feeling. Because when you eat an avocado, you don't just feel full, you feel satisfied. You feel like your body received something nourishing, not just filling. It's the kind of food that leaves no crush, no regret, and no damage. Just quiet strength. Avocados can be mashed, sliced, or eaten plain with a sprinkle of salt. But however you enjoy them, remember this. They're more than just food. They're fuel for independence, for clarity, for control. And at this stage in life, that's exactly what you deserve. Now, let's finish this fruit journey with one of nature's most underrated miracles. A tropical healer that can transform your digestion, your joints, and your immunity. Let's talk about papaya. 4. Papaya, the digestive and anti-inflammatory miracle. At first glance, papaya feels like a vacation fruit. Golden orange flesh, soft, tropical, sweet. But don't let its gentle look fool you. Because beneath that mellow flavor is one of nature's greatest healing gifts, especially for seniors. Papaya isn't just delicious. It's medicine disguised as fruit. And it starts with one key compound, papain, a powerful natural enzyme. It helps your body break down proteins, making digestion smoother, lighter, and faster. Have you ever felt heavy after dinner? Bloated? Like your stomach just won't settle? Especially after medications, meat, or processed food. Papaya can ease that burden, quietly, gently, and quickly. It acts like a natural digestive aid, so your body doesn't have to work as hard overnight. But papaya doesn't stop at digestion. It's also rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, and vitamin E. 3 antioxidants that form a protective wall around your cells. They reduce inflammation, strengthen your immune system, protect your joints, and even support skin repair from the inside out. For seniors living with arthritis, joint stiffness, or chronic gut issues, papaya can feel like relief in a bite. It helps with constipation and irregularity, inflamed joints and morning stiffness, weakened immune response, recovery from medication side effects. And unlike many fibrous or acidic fruits, papaya is soft, easy to chew, and gentle on aging teeth and gums. It's perfect before bed, calming the stomach, preparing your body for rest, and reducing overnight inflammation. And here's the beauty. You don't need a pill. You don't need a prescription. Just a few slices of ripe papaya, and your body begins to thank you, quietly, naturally, and consistently. It's proof that not all healing comes in a bottle. Sometimes it comes in nature's simplest packages. Papaya isn't flashy. It doesn't trend on health blogs. But for the aging body, it's a miracle, hiding in plain sight. And now that you've met the fruits that heal, let's take a step back and connect all the dots. Because your health isn't just about avoiding danger. It's about choosing wisely every single day. Your health is in your hands, one bite at a time. Here's the truth that hits hardest after 60. You can't take your health for granted anymore, and every single thing you eat matters. Especially before bed. Because at night, your body isn't just sleeping. It's repairing, rebuilding, fighting inflammation, and trying to keep you strong for tomorrow. But it can't do that if you feed it sugar bombs, drug disruptors, or foods that spike your blood sugar. So what do? Swap smartly. Instead of dried fruit, try blueberries. Instead of a banana every night, enjoy half an avocado. Instead of grapefruit, reach for a crisp apple. Instead of sugary desserts, end your day with sweet, healing papaya. Your choices don't have to be big. They just have to be wise. Because each decision adds up to better mornings, better walks, better balance, and better living. And remember, what once worked at 30 might not work at 70. That's okay. That's not failure. That's wisdom. Be kind to your body. Listen to it. And choose fruits that support your journey, not fight against it. There are hundreds of healing foods out there. And tonight, you get to start fresh. Conclusion. If you've made it this far, you already care. You're already learning. And that means you're already healing. Now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you learned today? What fruit are you going to swap, starting tonight? Tell me in the comments. Let's support each other as a community of strong, smart, and curious seniors. And if you found this helpful, comment 1 to let me know, or 0 if you think I can do better next time. Don't forget to like this video if it opened your eyes. Subscribe for more secrets to living better after 60. And share this with someone you love who needs this message. Because aging isn't about giving up. It's about leveling up. One meal, one choice, one habit at a time. Here's to your strength, your clarity, and your beautiful, unstoppable body. See you in the next one.